Good morning, YouTubers. This is News with a View, a fatcatproduction.com, hosted by me, John A. Costa. Today is September 30th and episode 136. And the topics of today are Democratic hate continues. No budget by the Democrats will cause a shutdown of the government. And as promised yesterday, a little bit more information on the Georgia Election Commission subpoena of the 2020 votes in Fulton County. So this is going to be interesting. All right, let's get started. Democratic Representative Eric Sewell from California told CNN News Central on Monday that House Democrats plan to go after private citizens who have the nerve to work with the Trump administration, following the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey. So this is a direct threat from the Democrats to seek out private citizens who have worked with President Trump's administration. And the Democrats scream about democracy, right? Okay. You talk about being a hypocrite. And you talk about, dialing it down. They got to dial it. Everyone has to dial it down. The Republicans have to dial it down. And you have a piece of crap, Sewell, saying, we're going to go after private citizens. Now, you can go after private citizens, and I'm fine with that. Go ahead. Knock yourselves out. What are you going after them for? What are you going after them for? Just that they worked with the president? I see this as a direct threat. Schumer has done this. California and New York are out of control. FBI should be sent and spoken with him. FBI should speak to Schumer. The idea that private citizens working with the government are now enemies of the people. Comey was indicted. He will have his day in court. This idea that we're going to do a tit for tat, where we're just going to go after private citizens. Comey, the government says they have proof that he committed an indictable crime. Okay? You might not like it. You might say that it's politically motivated. Well, if he lied in front of a Senate committee, yeah, you'd be in trouble for that. If you lied or gave a false statement to a federal officer, yeah, you could be in trouble. And he knew this. And he says, I'll beat this. I'm going to beat this rap. I'm going to do this, and well, let him do it. Let him beat the rap. But for Sewell to come out and say we're going to come after people, and then went on during the show to say that he expressed confidence that Democrats would take control of the House in 2026 midterms. You gotta be kidding me, right? You gotta be kidding me. You think you're gonna take control of the House? For the second time in less than a week, a Virginia state lawmaker up for re-election has been targeted with death threats amid highlighted political rhetoric and the murder of Charlie Kirk. Gary Higgins, a Republican from Lovettsville, confirmed to Fox News that on Monday he was texted with a death threat in which the suspect spewed explicitives and said he would shoot the lawmaker at his next rally. The violence of the Democrats is not ending. It is this type of speech that empowers the mentally ill in the ranks of the Democrats to go out and hurt people. We're going to go after private people. We're going to go after you. This was the same rhetoric used by Waters. Chase Trump people into restaurants, get in their face, get in their children's face, go to their schools. This is the same rhetoric, and this is why the police want to wear masks so they're not hunted down for doing their job. All this, Democrats, understand, is just going to be piled on you during the campaigns. You are not going to be given a second of respite. You brought this on yourselves. And as a political figure, you have to accept some pushback from your opponent. But a private citizen should not be threatened by the government. And that's what you're doing. And let me tell you, that's why there's a Second Amendment, because honestly, sir, the people should never fear the government. Government should always fear the people. And our forefathers thought about that. Because people exactly like yourself, we're going to come after private citizens. The nerve of that piece of shit to come out and say that. And he's going to call, oh, no, I meant people that make these deals with Trump's administration. What's the difference? I'm adjusting something over here because I don't like it. Let's see how that works. I'm getting some cable chatter. And that's that little motorboating that you hear in the background. And that's from a dirty connector. I cleaned it, but I'm going to have to go in there and fix it. The Democrats coming out of the gate and making threats to private citizens is not going to turn out well for you. Schumer, Waters, Pelosi, I mean, it's not going to work out good for your party. It's not a good look. And you could be mad at Trump, and you could say, sit there and go, oh, he's orange. Look how he combs his hair. Look at his wife. And yet you bring nothing to the table. And speaking about bringing nothing to the table, Democrats refuse to work with the Republicans in finding a budget solution. and now face a government shutdown. Schumer and Jeffries demand spending on Obamacare subsidies and leftist agendas that serve Democratic-controlled NGOs and honestly do not serve the people that they're supposed to be serving. They're just a money shuffle game. And this goes back to Trump doing his reach or claw back to get this money back. And you got stuff like Act Blue that has been gone after. You have the Open Society Policy Center. That's a George Soros who's being investigated as we speak. Future Forward, U.S. Action, and that's a group that donated tens of millions of dollars to support sister PACs. See, that's what they do. They get money in, and then they funnel it out, and they make a notice of all that. They're not doing anything illegal. We point that out. They're following their 501 rules. But they took a lot of money to support the Joe Biden's presidential campaign. How'd that go for you? So the Democrats are saying, we're not going to give you the 7 votes that you need to get a budget passed. All right. Shut it down. Trump would like nothing better than to shut the government down, lay off, and never bring some of these people back. Because at that point, he has the discretionary power to stop the whole process. And there we go. And I went to the B feed. I still got a little chatter, but not as bad. So Trump now goes to the other people, and we can go here and turn this up just a little bit here. Not too much, but just enough for me to talk here. Where Trump can now go, oh, government shutdown, I can save money. We don't need these people. We don't need these people. We don't need these people. And Doge comes back to the front of the line. And the real kicker is that the, they're saying we're talking about health care and people that are going to possibly lose health care because of higher premiums. So those higher premiums don't kick in till December. And this budget would end November. And that gives this whole time for them to work out all those little details for December. So them screaming now we're going to shut the government down because of health care, it's disingenuous. It's something they can do, but this is going to come back and blow up in their faces like you can't believe. Like you can't believe. I'm going to go back. I like that sounding better. The other one, I must have the settings set up really high, but we'll see. So, the Republicans, of course, they've been critiquing the Democrat-controlled NGOs. And those are non-government organizations. In June of 2025, House hearing entitled Taxpayer-Funded NGOs Slush Funds Advancing Radical Agendas Must Be Shut Down. And that featured a testimony from critics alleged that Biden administration had funneled billions in taxpayer dollars to left-wing NGOs, green energy and climate NGOs that have done nothing, absolutely nothing, except take that money and refunnel it back into the Democratic coffers. Published in June 4th, 2025, the Committee on Government Oversight, Dodge hearing public and private agenda, NGOs gone wild. At the hearing, members and witnesses exposed the ties that bind left-wing, non-governmental organizations, Democrat elected officials and appointees, and bureaucrats who write grants and contracts. Radical Democrats have funneled billions of taxpayers' dollars to NGOs to advance destructive policies such as open borders and the Green New Deal scam, all while lining the pockets of their friends and allies. Members and witnesses agreed that NGO taxpayer-funded slush funds must be shut down to prevent waste and abuse of taxpayers' resources. So, you have a very split Congress. You have an extremely split Senate. And when I say the Congress, I'm talking about the House of Representatives. I know the Congresses are both houses, so don't anyone write me comments about that. Well, you write me comments about that, but I'll write you right back. Senator Chris Murphy, whose recent appearance on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, said, "I think Democrats are united on a couple of simple ideas," Murphy told Colbert. "We have to stand up for people whose lives will be ruined by these massive health care premiums. We have no moral obligation to pay the bills for democracy's destruction." I have no idea what this guy's talking about. If democracy is being destroyed, how does preventing a slight increase in health insurance premiums 3 months from now change anything? And if Democrats want to rally around Obamacare subsidies that expire in December, that is something that can be negotiated anytime between now and December. This budget would expire, excuse me, November 21st. For something that doesn't even happen for 3 months. As nonsensical as the Democratic Party shutdown strategy is, I would say that, the Democrats are united. Okay? United. For what? And united, at least for now. They're not going to be united because this is going to be a massive, massive blow up in their faces. And I just don't see this working out for them if they shut the process down in government. This is a wah-wah of the Democrats. That's all it is, folks. We can't get our way, so now you're not going to get your way either. Very foolish. Democrats are foolish. They wasted opportunities. They wasted time. They wasted money. The idea that they think they're going to win in 2026 is the same mantra they were screaming that Harris was going to win Iowa. Harris was going to win everything. Harris was going to take 397 electoral college votes or even higher. and knowing damn well that that's not the case, and all they were doing was grabbing donation money. And the one thing that we can say about the Democrats in the last 4 years, they lie. And they lie to line their pockets. They lie to maintain their power. They are not doing, for the most part, a public service. And I say, I'm not every Democrat. There are a lot of good Democrats out there. And a lot of really bad ones that should be gone. And, unfortunately, you're picking the same bad Democrats. And that's why the Republicans are going to win. Would you start putting people up there that are good Democrats and make common sense and stick to the issues of citizens, you stand a chance. As it stands right now, you stand no chance. You can't even there's no way you can make sense of your stance. You are now outright going after ICE officials. You are calling for the violence against ICE officials. The true insurrection, not from the Republicans, it's from the Democrats. They have carrying around hanging dummies, of ICE officers. Take a look in Texas, what's going on there. And, thinking that's great. What do you think would happen? Let's just be honest here, folks. If at a rally someone would have taken Obama and carried around him on a noose, what do you think would happen? And rightfully so, it should happen. Because I see that as a threat. You can't have that. You can't do that. That's not freedom of expression. You can't even try to wrap your head around that. So, why can demonstrators wear masks and the police can't? Why can't the police wear, the sunglasses and with the fake nose and the fake mustache? Why can't ICE people wear full ZZ Top beards? Fake. Why can't they do that? That's not a mask. Or going white face or a clown's face or a black face. It's not a mask. So, the Democrats are all for violence against ICE officials. And this is why the president says we will send in troops to protect our federal people and offices. And if the police don't help, because those people are citizens too in your jurisdiction, then the state fails, and then we can act against the state. So this is all about democracy. This isn't about, you know, your idea of democracy, Democrats, is violating our laws. Not changing our laws. You guys were in power for 12 years. You could have changed all that. You didn't. Why? Because you didn't want your fingerprints on it. So, Schumer and Jeffries are sitting on a sinking ship. And the pressure on Schumer not to give up the ship, but to go down with it. Now that's his choice. And there are people saying, well, we're not going to support you financially when it comes time for re-election. And these are the outside progressives that have wielded power by hiring people to do protests to intimidate companies with the help of the media. That's their idea of democracy. Their idea is not we the people. It's we who hire the people. Think about that, folks. Think about that. It's not we the people, it's we that hire the people. Is that what you want? So, because that's what they're doing. And, you know, I thought this was going to be a longer show today, but I think I'm going to keep this down to about 35, 40 minutes. Because I can't talk anything more about, you know, just the hate speech coming from the left. It's mind-boggling. It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. You think that with everything that there'd be people going, oh, slow it down. It's not. You're getting worse. You're getting worse. And all that is doing is emboldening the president and him able to go, that's why I'm doing this. See how they're reacting? See how they've reacted? See what they won't do? I will do it. And you could call me the bad guy. But I got this behind me, pal. And you don't. You do not. And the fun and games are over, fellas. 2026, when a lot of you guys are out of office, and the files really start to open up, because we know why most people stay in power. It's to hide their past. It's not dedication. It's like, I got to have cover. So don't tell me anything more. That's both sides. All right, Georgia State Election Board votes to subpoena 2020 election physical ballots, envelopes, and stubs from Fullerton County. Now that, I said yesterday when I heard about this and started to understand what was actually going on here. And that happened really September 24th. I was a little behind, but I was already not doing my show. The Georgia State Election Board voted 3-1 to issue subpoenas to the County Board of Registrations, the Director of Elections, Nadine Williams, and the Clerk of the Superior Court, Shay Alexander. The subpoenas will be for the physical paper ballots, ballot stubs, and envelopes for all absentee ballots. Previously, on Election Day 2024, the board had subpoenaed election documents from the 2020 election. However, after 9 months, Fulton County had not yet handed over the corresponding documents subject to pending litigation. And so this is a continuation, and we'll see what happens with this, but there are 17,852 ballots that were counted that have no corresponding ballot images with it. Meaning, you counted them, where are they? This looks like it gets scanned through a machine and gets all recorded. Where are they? And, you have people going, oh, come on, the election, let's get over it. Well, let's not get over it. Let's say that Donald Trump was cheated. And if he was cheated in Georgia, then he was cheated elsewhere. And I had said before, I wanted to see the facts of the matter. And it was going to take time. We knew this was going to take time. And it was going to take time for Trump to get all his ducks in order. Well, those ducks are now becoming in order. And we could see President Trump moving forward in his request that the 2020 election be looked into. Seriously, not one of these things, no, we don't have to do it. No, you lost, that's it, over. It's been certified. I would like to see President Biden's presidency, it can't be nullified. But it can be unjustified. And the American people shown the truth. And if there is no shenanigans, well, then the American people will know that too, and act accordingly. So, we know that there was problems in Georgia. We know that there were problems in Michigan during 2020. We know that there were problems in Arizona. If we find it in Georgia, that's going to give Trump the ammunition for him to go to the courts and go, we were told everything was just spanking great over here, clean as can be, and now we find this. And this is the same thing that I said was coordinated elsewhere. I want it looked into. And he's going to get it. For nothing more than to find the people who were behind it and make sure they never have anything to do with an election again and be brought up on any charges that are appropriate. But to also let the American people know that they were hoodwinked and they were lied to. and that they should always be vigilant in the election process. So, yeah, I'll keep this to 40 minutes. I'm going to try to look for something else in the news. There were some things that were breaking today, but I don't know yet if at this point, does it mean anything? You know, let's just see. Go to my news source. Okay. Well, I know that, there was a rally for the generals today, and, Pete Heges going, giving a speech. So, and, what is this? Illinois governor says Trump has requested troop deployment as tensions rise in Chicago. And he's going to send 100 troops to this state. You're not going to protect the federal people there. Well, then we're going to do it. And this guy thinks he's going to run, the governor, and that he's a chance for possible pick for the 2028 presidential election. It's not a chance. Not a chance. Neither was Newsom. Neither is Newsom. As of right now, I'd say the only person that would even could rise to the top of that would be Shapiro. And that's a real maybe. So, all right, with that, I'm going to end the show. It's going to be about 45 minutes, right? Yeah, not less than 40 minutes. Easy show today. I'm tired anyway. Medication I'm on is making me very tired. Everyone, give to charity if you can. Check those charities out. And if you can give to a food bank, that would be great. Food banks need more than just food. You check with them. Say a prayer. Prayer does work, no matter what Democrats tell you. And with that, I'll probably have a show. Depends on what goes on. Maybe this evening sometime. A spontaneous live show. I don't know if I'd do anything more than that, but a spontaneous live show. This show I'm going to edit real quick. It's just going to be, and I've been doing that, just been putting up, join my page, blah, 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 and sending it out the door. I'm not even putting in time highlights in there, which I get a lot of complaints about that I should do. But I want you to listen to the whole show, not just snippets. So, all right, with that, I am going to fade to black.